You know, someone once said that in silence and stillness, one find great presence. If it wasn't for silence, there'd never be any noise, never be any sounds. The silence creates the gap between the manifested and the unmanifested, between the white and the black. These days we're really conditioned to fear silence. We feel obligated to speak without thinking, without the proper breath. And we end up saying all these words without thinking. You just slip out without intention. The problem with this is that the words we speak create the reality we want. So when one doesn't have a bit of stillness in between his words, in between his breaths, there's going to be a lot of chaos and a lot of illusions in the reality that he creates for himself and the beings around him. When our minds are clouded by our thoughts that are not ours, they've been strategically implanted in our minds by some lower vibrational beings that are lacking love. First thing to understand is we need to send compassion towards those people. Not get angry or start pointing the fingers saying, this is this guy's fault, this is this corporation's fault, this is whoever's fault. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of your life, you're the one responsible for your breath and the words you speak. And we believe that with stillness, in between the words you speak, in between the thoughts you think, we've changed the world. We've changed our world, and by changing our world, law of oneness says we're all one, right? So you're changing everybody else's world. They did this experiment on monkeys back in the 60s. And the monkeys were eating this fruit, but it was really hard to open up. And scientists decided to give them a tool. I think it was a hammer or something, or a rock. And all of a sudden, after the 100th monkey realized that this tool was helping them crack open the fruit, then the monkeys were eating the fruit, and they were able to get it open. But the funny thing is that the monkeys on the other side of the world that never used this tool or never did this experiment started doing the same thing. They all of a sudden started using this tool to open the fruit without any introduction or any prior use of the tool or anything. Which goes to say that we're really connected in this web of oneness, you know. So if you can find stillness in your heart, in your being, you're radiating around the whole universe, this stillness, this love, this vibrational state of being. Is a lot more natural than any of the illusion we've been taught to think or do. But it's getting easier. Stars are lining up and everything's falling into place. Find that stillness and find that place in your being where you don't have to try. You know, stay connected with that young child of yours inside. We need to keep it fun. They put us through this system to disconnect us from our child, from our fun. When you look at a child, there's no filter. There's no worries, you know, about tomorrow or yesterday. He's just so busy exploring what he wants to do today. Like this guy right here. Oh, he might be a little camera shy here. But this guy, all he wants to do is have fun every day. He doesn't worry about condition. You know, he can sleep outside. I can not feed him for a few days. He's still gonna want to play. Why? Because that's what it is in nature. That's what life's about fun, about joy, about doing the things you love and doing them often. And the things you don't like, well, don't do them. Some people think that you have to suffer to be worthy enough of goodness in your life. In other words, you gotta really pay the price with your time and sweat and tears to get to a point where you think that you're worthy enough, or you think that you're going to give yourself what you deserve. But in one way, it's true. When you're ready to see, and when you're tired of the illusions of trying to do all these things that don't make you happy, sooner or later you'll break down and you might cry. You might feel like you're going crazy. You might feel like you don't belong to anything of this society. That's exactly it. You don't. You don't belong to anything of this society. You only belong to this. You know, some say that we're born into this world like we came into it. But we say that you're born out of it. We came out of it. We're going to go back into it eventually. But we're too scared to think about that, to acknowledge that, so we spend our time, putting it off and thinking, oh well, what's death, like, that's not really going to happen. But you need to know that this death is real. And when you do finally figure out and know how real it is, then you can really start living. But not because of fear, but because this is your time to shine. This is your blossoming time. This is your time to be and appreciate and take in the rays of the sun while you can, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to convey that you gotta stop scaring yourself. This fear is really keeping us away from reaching our higher potential, which is really unlimited. limitless. We're able to do so much that we don't even know till what point. But we do know deep down inside, we do have that feeling that everything is possible. But there's always something or a little voice that seems to come back in the back of our minds telling us that, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe it's not a good idea. That's not you. What are people going to think? You know? But you got to realize that that voice is not you. But you also have to acknowledge that voice and laugh at it. You know, it's the only thing you can do is just laugh at these things and just be like, ha, what are you doing there, buddy? I caught you again. What, you think you're gonna bring me down? Like, who am I anyways to bring down, you know? It's like trying to bring down a tree, you know, like by saying all sorts of things to it, or you know, a plant or something. I mean, to one degree you're actually able to send some vibration to that plant, but I mean, it's not gonna stick. But, you know, what we like to do is just put a mirror in front of that thought, put a mirror in front of that feeling of lower vibration, you know, look at it, take a step back, you know, acknowledge it, feel it, talk about it. It's not good or it's not bad, it's just pulling you closer, day by day, getting closer to that spot, that space where you can make the connection and regain your true feelings. Kind of like slowly but slowly the clouds are just moving out, you know, a little bit at a time, sometimes a lot at a time. Those times can be a lot, like, really intense. That's when it's almost even more important to stick with the people that you feel have a good vibration or a good song playing. You need those people. You need to listen to your feelings when the clouds dissipate real quick, because I mean, you can get stuck in an airport, but we're on a one-way flight here, and we can't go back once we start to see these cloud dissipating, which are already happening if you're seeing this and talking about it, and it's come into your reality right now, and we've come into your reality to confirm that what you're feeling is true. And that it's happening. So when in doubt, go for a walk in nature and find the stillness. and forever be at peace. From your heart to your heart. I mean, my heart to your heart. This is joy. Thank you.